I love architecture. I love math too, honestly. I love my first period. I love all my classes. I would say the teachers and my friends.
I've stepped out of my comfort zone in certain things, and it made me grow as a person.
Seeing what somebody was actually able to make and it being able to, be a real thing, is something that I've always wanted.
Design thinking, it makes you have an open mind instead of a closed mind.
Learning something new makes me really happy.
Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come to school.
Our program is really unique because we are focused on getting the students to think like designers. Designers think in a different way than artists, although I consider myself an artist and a designer, but a designer is problem solving. They're taking a problem and they're coming up with a solution that can move the world forward.
By realizing the power of what an idea actually is in a way that it doesn't have to just be an idea, and that having a student be a part of a design build process where they get to see a design come to life really shows the extent of all of the things it takes to actually have that process happen.
The design build project is really important to our program. It really gives us the opportunity for the students to have a real world client-designer relationship, which that aspect of design we don't really have often in the classroom with just normal unit projects.
Like they actually teach us things and they actually give us life-changing opportunities.
This year we're working with the new Greenmount Community Association and City Arts 2 to help build something in their new playground that they put in at Barclay Park.
So I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and the whole reason I got involved in the project was we didn't have anywhere to just hang out. I had to take them outside the neighborhood for us to go to a playground where we could just hang out with other families.
It has this beautiful new park equipment and it's great space for kids.
But we didn't have something really important to the playground, which was benches and shade. So we had this space where kids could run around, but it wasn't very comfortable.
With Design Build, we always do a lot of research to figure out what we need in our area, and placemaking is a really important aspect of that. And we learned a little bit about the history of the playground and what was here before and how they wanted to bring something back into the Greenmount West neighborhood. Then we start to brainstorm. So we come up with sketches, and then we start getting into prototyping where we'll make some drawings, we'll do some digital modeling on the computer, and we'll build some site models to start really identifying what these designs might look like.
Being prepared to get hands-on with multiple materials and technology while in the architecture program.
3D printers and laser cutters and stuff, like more advanced and professional apps that we can use to design.
I very much like working with building things from nothing to something.
Victor has always been a very hands-on student. And I think having Design Build, he has a lot of confidence in his ability as a maker.
What I love most about architecture is when it comes to the thought process and designing of building something new, and my idea being shown to other people.
Design Build is building, and it's letting him take his ideas, which he often has really good ideas, and saying that we're giving value to the building part of it. If you can hold a drill and if you can use a chop saw and you have confidence, then I can let him lead.
My father always showed me the proper way how to use them. That's why whenever it comes to using tools, I always tend to help people use them in the proper manner.
That's one of the things that's really stood out to me, is how the different roles in the classroom, the mentors' roles, the students' roles, and our roles as teachers transform from teacher and student to a design firm, a design team.
Mentorship in a lot of ways can really provide a strong connection to students who want to pursue architecture, and that they can see themselves in the field and pursuing it.
But it's also nice to see that what we're doing is not too far off from what they're doing.
I think Janaya, she has a commanding ability. Like, she's definitely, I think for the project, usually one of the first people who wants to get started.
You need someone like that in the room to get people talking and get people moving, and in Design Build that really helps to push that part of her, where she has taken a lot of ownership over her designs. And so one of the designs that we're doing for Design Build this year was her original design.
From my head, my own thought process. It's really cool.
So when we're like, okay, today we're working on Jania's design, her hearing that is going to put her in a place that's using all of that energy that she has for the good of moving the project forward.
It starts off as an idea, but you have to learn how to communicate that idea. A lot of that in architecture is visual communication, but I think oral communication does get worked on in how to relay something to someone who isn't as experienced in the field that you're coming from or have the knowledge or background that you do.
You know, whenever you're giving feedback to anybody, you want to be respectful and you want to be careful. But I think particularly with young people, part of their learning experience is learning how to deal with criticism.
They were kind of deciding between the shape of the shade sails that they were going to use. The students had proposed a more triangular design versus the client wanting more of a square shape. And Jania, she's very outspoken in the classroom. She expressed like her reasoning for why she preferred the triangular design.
And so as the client, I can say, well, yeah, here's the issue we're dealing with, and this is why that doesn't work. And then they can take that and change the design and make it work for what we're looking for.
So this definitely taught me when it comes to planning, you have to be open to all opinions. All opinions. And if it's an opinion you don't agree with, you can express that in like a respectful manner.
They have a way of really standing by their designs and the defense of great ideas that they have.
Like, man, it can work. It really can.
And you can see the passion that they have for trying to figure out how they could work. And I think I've seen them learn just how complicated it is to bring ideas to life.
That builds in a lot more experience that we can't really give them in the classroom. And so I think having a design build project that they can now like take that love and make it into a reality is I think also really important.
This is like real life. This is not something that we're just, oh yeah, we're coming up with an idea, we're printing it. No, this is like, I have to actually build this bench and I have to actually put it in a park because it's going to be there for years.
Having the students come in and bring this fresh energy to the project and literally build a space for community to flourish has been incredibly inspiring to see.
Programs like Design Build at BDS are critical for developing the belief that these students can really make an impact on their environment and that not only that the place they come from matters, but that they matter.
The program helps people become innovative thinkers and allows students to have a different perspective in the world.
At the end of the day, when we graduate, we're all going out into society. Like, it helps society become stronger, helps have more successful people.
Allowing them to change things for the better in this world.